What do you do when you don't necessarily want to use social media for your business, but for one reason or another, you feel like you have to or you know you should? What's up? I'm Zach. I'm the founder and director of Mission Driven Impact. We help impact driven founders and executive directors raise awareness for their organization by clarifying their message, getting the word out, and building a loyal community of fans and supporters. Now, listen, I get it. I loathe social media. I didn't support it personally. I definitely consider myself a digital minimalist. Cal Newport's book, Digital Minimalism, by the way, fantastic book. But I didn't support social media personally, and I didn't think that it was really effective for business either. You know, we talked in the last video about how to market your business without social media. I'll leave it in one of the corners up here, but I talked about how, you know, you're kind of building your content house, your audience or your platform on rented land, right? Algorithms can change, accounts can get banned, you know, people's ads can get smacked down, and so many things you're just not in control of in social media. We've seen it time and time and again. You can literally disappear overnight on social media, and that is a really scary thing when you are a business and you rely on people to move that bottom line so that you can have the impact you really want to have in the world. I do still have my hesitations about social media, both personally and for business, and I spend a lot of time warning my clients and people who follow me about kind of the dangers of social media, both personally and for business. But the more I saw, whether they were my mentors or just business leaders who I looked up to and I admired their business and had been following them, I noticed that many of them were able to use social media in a specific way. Right? Didn't necessarily mean, you know, getting hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers. I mean, sometimes. But I found that so many of them were able to actually leverage social media to build tight-knit communities, to have one-on-one conversations, to actually leverage the platforms to move their business forward and do more of what mattered most. I found that really inspiring, and I knew that if I could get in on a slice of that, if I could figure out how to do things right the first time without letting social media suck my soul or my business, sometimes it feels like the same thing, right? But I knew that the payoff could be massive. So what do you do if you find yourself in a similar situation? You know that you don't need to be using social media to grow your business or organization, but you know you want to, or you feel like it's the next best step. It is really something that you can use rather than something that's going to use you, something that you can use to move the needle forward in your business. It comes down to a lot more than just grit your teeth and do it anyway. And trust me, I tried that and got basically nowhere, which is why I want to share with you a few tips. I've actually got 6 mindset shifts that totally transform the way that I think about and engage with social media and each of the platforms. Before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I've got like the next, handful of videos for sure, at least, are all going to be about how to use social media to further your social impact organization. I don't want you to miss out. Like and subscribe. Tip number 1, because you can never emphasize this enough, is to recognize that you don't have to use social media. And it's funny, after I scripted the outline to this video, my business coach, Lucas Rubix, he runs this podcast called Boost My Mind. And the episode he put out that day, the title of it was, "You Don't Have to Do Anything," you know? And that could be a liberating concept. You know, if we feel like we have to do all these things, we have to be on all these different channels, be omni-channel, we have to be doing these kind of marketing activities, we have to be running our business in this kind of way, we need to be showing up to work, in a specific kind of way. You don't actually have to do anything, right? There's a great privilege in being able to say that. And I think that, if you're watching this video, you probably share that privilege too, right? You don't have to do anything, and you definitely don't have to use social media. Most of us don't need social media when we're small, starting out. In fact, most of us might be better off without it, right? Social media can be very distracting. It can take a long time to learn your way around the platform. Again, anything can change in an instant. And so it's oftentimes better to focus our limited energy and limited resources on the essential few that are really going to drive huge results, not just for your marketing, but for your business. I would even say most of us, most of the stretch, but a lot of us, more than you think, more people than you think, don't even need a website when they first start a business, right? You can really do a lot through word of mouth, through just emailing. And I know people who have built their businesses up to 6 figures before they even had a domain name, So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to use social media. Recognize that and lean into it. When you are using social media, it is a choice, and it's something that can help you grow. That leads me to tip number 2, which is to give gratitude for the opportunity. I know some of you watching this are like, oh my God, are you serious? Yes, I'm super serious. Give gratitude not for this burden, not for this extra task when you're already wearing so many hats. I mean, it's amazing. You have the chance to use your platform to speak your truth, to spread a positive message, to actually make people's lives better. I always say, and I get this from someone I look up to a lot, Ramit Sethi at IWT. He says that if you truly believe that your products, that your business is making people's lives better, you have an obligation to get in front of people. And you have an opportunity to leverage social media to do that in a way that has never been possible before in human history. I mean, even what we can do now as opposed to 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you know what I mean? You can literally hit a button and go live and reach thousands of people. It's an amazing opportunity you have to spread positivity in the world, and to get yourself in front of people who you can help and make better off. You also have the gift of a new challenge ahead of you, right? Like what I just said is that it's something that can help you grow. I guess I do mean that in a business sense, but I really mean that in a personal sense too. And if you're someone like me where, there's just a huge barrier for a lot of reasons to overcome when you're learning social media, that challenge is a gift in the sense that you can, it's an opportunity for you to rise above, to overcome, to learn a new skill, to sharpen your mindset. You're watching videos like this, and so you are interested in developing your mind. That is something that is a really great opportunity that even something as mundane as social media can seem is bringing to you. So give gratitude for that. That's where you got to start. Tip number 3 is to evaluate your beliefs. Now, this is something that is just really useful in all parts of your life. Trust me, this is something that I'm going through a lot right now. It's just thinking, what beliefs serve me and the vision that I have for my future? What beliefs do I need to let go of, right? Remember in college, I was a philosophy major, and we talked about the pragmatists and having what is the cash value of your belief? What do you get out of holding this belief? And if that belief doesn't seem to align with the vision for your future, personally or in your business, maybe it's time to let those go. And that applies equally to social media. You don't have to be into manifestation and the law of attraction and all this spirituality and mindfulness and mental stuff. Totally cool if you are. I am, but I don't think it's a hard idea for anyone to get behind that like attracts like. If you believe that social media is only a place for negativity, if it's only a source of distraction, if it is something that is just impossible to crack, what do you think your experience using social media is going to be like? If you only think that people spread negativity on social media and you try to grow your business on social media, what do you think people are going to see you projecting? No matter how hard you try, right? If you think that social media is only a distraction, and that was a huge belief that I had, you're always going to approach it feeling like you could be doing something that's more impactful. When you chose, again, going back to tip number 1, you chose to pursue social media. You chose this challenge right now because something inside of you believed that it was the best thing to do. It's okay to withdraw from that. It's okay to reevaluate and think maybe it wasn't. But if it really is, if you truly believe it is, then all I'm saying is you got to show up in a specific way that reflects that belief. Choose the belief that's going to serve you. Choose to see, again, the opportunity that you have to use this platform. What do you need to believe to further that message? Tip number 4 is to give yourself permission to start small. Now, this is something that I think I really needed to hear, and I know many of you do too. We're top performers, especially in the social impact space. It is there's just a whole other dimension of responsibility and impact that we want to have, right? And so if you're like me, it's like, let's say, for example, I'd say, I'm going to start an Instagram account tomorrow. How do I go from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in a month? Or followers, or whatever they're called on Instagram. I know that so many of us just get into that habit of thinking of, let's get there fast. Give yourself permission to start small, to start slow. Master one platform. Don't go omni-channel, especially if you don't like social media in the first place, right? Master one platform. Post once per week, even if it's just a small little post. Go live with 0 people viewing, with 0 people watching. Practice these skills, hone these skills, see how you feel writing copy, see how you feel scheduling things in Hootsuite or Later or Buffer or whatever you use. It's about consistency. It's about the long game. It's about making incremental progress. That is not only what social media platforms reward, but it's also what lets you succeed in business and in marketing. Tip number 5 is to feel good while you do it. I just read Super Attractor by Gabby Bernstein, and this is a big topic in her book, and it was something that an idea that I have been encountering recently in my life, and I feel like this book just really brought it to life, how important it is. You're ultimately going to be more successful at anything you do if you feel good while you're doing it, if you're having fun, if you're incorporating the concept of play, if there's joy while you're doing it. Especially, what we're doing when we're using social media is we are spreading a message, we're communicating. Wouldn't you want to be filled with light and being vibrant and feeling joy when you spread that message? So classic things you can do is take your work out of the office or out of your work from home setup, go to a cafe or sit in a park. Can you do things while you're walking? Can you write social media captions maybe while you're walking? Or you'll see if you connect with me over on LinkedIn, I'll leave a link down in the description, that I film a lot of short videos just while I'm walking around. So I don't want to sit in my office and record videos all the time. So I walk around this beautiful city that I live in, shoot videos. Things like playing music in the background and dance at your standing desk. You know what I mean? If you're reading copy that I wrote, there's a good chance that I was standing up and shaking my behind as I was typing it. Just real talk. Maybe it's TMI, but you gotta feel good while you're doing this stuff. Another thing I do is that if I have some reading to go through or just something I really don't want to do, I'll write, for instance, I'll write social media captions, or I'll plan stuff out in my calendar during my rest periods at the gym. Even if I'm resting for 60, 90 seconds, a 3-minute rest, you can get a lot done there. You gotta feel good while you're doing something. That's a big secret. It's not really a secret. Tip number 6, and this has helped me so much in my business and in life, is remember, you can delegate. You don't have to do all of this on your own, and it doesn't have to be this huge cost. You gotta hire an in-house marketing assistant or whatever. You can delegate just parts of the task, right? Of course, you can hire, you can use sites like Upwork and Fiverr to find a remote social media manager, someone who specializes in running social media, someone who specializes in community engagement online. But you can also, just kind of hire out the smaller parts, like sourcing leads from social media, growing your audience, your follower number, your subscriber count. That's a vanity metric, doesn't have to be something that you focus on, but for some businesses, that is an important indicator of other goals. It's an important proxy. Of course, you can outsource just the copywriting. I used to do it all the time. I'm not going to run your social media, but I can write some copy. Or you can write the copy and you can outsource just the graphics or the media that goes along with it. You can outsource, let's say that you can take care of a lot of the social media process, but then when people reach out to you, you struggle a little bit to have those conversations. You can outsource the sales call, hire someone in sales and train them and things like that. And the list goes on and on and on, and it's multiplied for every marketing activity, probably every business activity you do. Remember that if something is not in your zone of genius, if something is not your superpower or something that you just can't feel good while doing, get it off your plate, have someone else do it. It can be a really cost effective, it can be really time effective. If you want to talk more about delegation, leave a concern, leave a question, leave your experience down in the comments below, and let's have a conversation about it. I get it. Regardless of your mindset, your individual goals, sometimes social media can just seem like this well, it can seem like that impossible code to crack. It can just seem like a total bear, a whole world unto itself. If you want one-on-one help, not just with social media, but with an entire marketing system that is low cost and hassle-free, that anyone can do, that you can scale, you can train, and it will work for you while you sleep, I'm going to leave a link down in the description. I want you to book a call with me. 30 minutes, free, no obligation. If I think you're a right fit for a program that I offer, definitely going to tell you about it. And if not, if I think you're a better fit somewhere else, or that there are other resources that can serve you, I'm going to let you know. So you can't lose. Schedule a call with me and we'll talk about how to move your marketing goals and your business forward so you can have the impact you've always wanted to have. All right. Hope this serves. Let me know if I can do anything else for you. Like and subscribe, because we've got a ton of great content coming out. A lot about social media, and of course, a lot that's not. Talk to you in the next one.